If the general public knew the real story about SeaWorld, their hearts would not be able to handle it. I'm going to spill the truth behind SeaWorld's closed park doors. SeaWorld's entertainment causes animals to suffer from mental and physical abuse. Despite the animal abuse that occurs at the park, SeaWorld has about 20 million visitors a year. There are three main key points that support the fact that animal abuse is taking place at SeaWorld. First, SeaWorld is known for kidnapping animals from the wild to be taken to their parks. The cages SeaWorld forces the sea animals to live in are thousands of times smaller than the ocean living conditions are. SeaWorld states misleading information on their website. They say they are committed to animal care, rescue, rehabilitation, and return. Research has shown time and time again that these tanks are not big enough for these whales. The tanks are about 35 feet deep, but in the wild, these whales typically dive up to 1,000 feet deep multiple times a day. This shows that the tanks are simply nowhere big enough for these orca whales and other sea animals to be happy. There was once an orca whale who was in a tank for about 40 years and died because of uncared cuts all over her body. Another dolphin died because of a gate on a pool being closed on his head and ended up fracturing his entire skull. Another problem that SeaWorld creates is the animals being forced to entertain. Dolphins often are starved before they perform in shows so that they would want treats and perform better. The touch tanks are also an abusive place for stingrays. The stingrays in the touch tanks do not ask for consent to be touched, in a way where they are being physically assaulted when they are forced to be touched by human beings. The final main point of animal abuse happening in SeaWorld theme park is the splitting of animal families. Calf and mother are often split apart permanently. Orca whales are very social animals, and to be happy, they need to have communication with others, especially with their loved ones and family. Orcas also spend 12 to 15% of their day talking to other mates. SeaWorld often leaves orca whales alone in their tanks without mates or family members, which is an example of an abusive behavior. There are three major solutions to be talked about. The first solution is sea pens. Sea pens help the poor living conditions for the whales and dolphins. Sea pens are large enclosures attached to oceans or large bodies of water. In the sea pens, visitors can see the animals from afar, but the animals can experience ocean life at the same time. Sea pens include large spaces to roam as well as interactions with other sea animals that the animals naturally have in the wild. Sea pens are a great solution because it gives the animals a similar experience to their natural habitat in the wild. Another solution would be to stop the separation of families and the isolation of social sea animals. This would help the mental health of the social and intelligent sea animals. SeaWorld often makes the sea animals be left alone in their tanks or with other sea animals they do not get along with. This leads to understimulation, depression, fights, and physical self-harm from distress. Highly intelligent and social sea animals need to be in the tanks with other animals that they get along with, as well as their family members. SeaWorld should make it their top priority that every social sea animal that they hold captive, such as their orca whales and dolphins, is with members of their family in their pods. Orca whales also typically stay with their families in their pods for life when they're living in the wilds. The final solution would be to stop animal entertainment by using virtual reality instead as a replacement. The watchers could go on adventures under the sea with bubble and wind effects while watching. The audience could also pick if they want an interactive conversation with the sea animal or not an interactive conversation with the sea animal. A way this experience could be more fun is if the seats moved so the customer really feels like they're swimming and deep diving throughout the whole virtual reality experience. With today's advancements in technology, we can use the resources to experience being with the sea animals without abusing real animals. This would also benefit SeaWorld in an economic way by not needing to pay to take care of these animals and all these extra expenses that it costs to take care of them by food, feeding them, training them, and the above. Overall, SeaWorld needs to change the way they treat these poor, innocent animals by focusing on solutions such as sea pens, stopping animal separation, and virtual reality to stop animal entertainment. As for the general public, we need to help stop these activities. Don't go to SeaWorld. Educate other friends and family members on your next family vacation. And don't go swimming with dolphins when you're going on vacation. Do everything in your power to educate and stop the extra experiences that could cause these animals to be abused while we're having fun. There is hope to help stop animal abuse if we work together and take actions over words. I hope after watching this video, you understood the impact that SeaWorld has on animal abuse and these animals. They need us to help them. They need us to help save them, and they need us to help give them support. With all my power, I hope that after this video, you will never step foot in a SeaWorld again or take part in any activities that are abusive towards these animals. Thank you.